I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaban IFL TV proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're here in South London, Box Park with me, South London's finest, the knowledge, Mr. Spencer Fearon. Spence, good to see you. So we've seen each other a few times now, face to face, over the last couple of weeks.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, all praise is due to God. I mean, always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Obviously here today for the announcement, Joshua Buatsi has signed a long-term deal with Boxer. I know we've spoken about this in the past, but it looks like he had a number of offers on the table. You surprised that he's come over to bench along and Boxer in the Sky?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not surprised whatsoever. Let's be real with this. Boxer need Joshua Buatsi more than Buatsi needs Boxer, but Joshua Buatsi needs Sky more than Sky needs Joshua Buatsi. So it's a very, very good marriage, a very good three-way dynamic, which will benefit all parties involved, I believe.
One of the key things he said up there on the press conference, and I paraphrase, was now fans will be able to see me on their TV screens.
Well, he's right. It's not a lie. You know what I mean? He's right. He needs accessibility so we could see this talent and see what a talent he is. And I've always been, I've known him for years. So he's a good kid, and I can't even say kid. He's a grown-ass man. But I believe that, you know, steered correctly, steered right. You know, the sky's the limits for him. And fingers crossed for him that he gets the right fights and is manoeuvred correctly.
I spoke to his trainer Virgil Hunter on the weekend, and I asked him, because I saw some comments where Virgil said that Joshua Buatsi wasn't ready for Bivol, but he clarified. He said, no, I didn't say he wasn't ready for Bivol. I said that I'd like to see him have 2 more fights before he fights Dimitri Bivol.
Right, so that's on certain things from miscommunication. You know what I mean, how we want to interpret things. And he's right to say he wants 2 more fights, because it's not just about putting in a gallant challenge, it's about doing the correct steps to go and get the fights. But in me just being 100% real, you've seen with 2016 Olympics, Joe Cordina's boxing the Olympics, comes out, wins a world title. Lawrence Okoli goes out, wins a world title. But the star boy of that Olympics, even though he never won a gold, he won a bronze medal, was Joshua Buatsi. The hype was all about Joshua Buatsi. So I believe that he must sit down now and feel very, very unfulfilled, right? Not even in a jealous, envious way, but he must feel a little bit unfulfilled. Like, you know what? What's going on for me? How comes, you know, within that duration of time, Anthony Yards had 2 world title fights. So let's just keep this thing 100. Joshua Buatsi needs to be out and he needs to be fighting. Right? And he needs to be fighting and getting these good kind of step-up fights to get you in the correct preparation to fight for a world title. So I think him doing that with Boxer and on Sky, they need to push him because they need a star boy. They've got him now, so we've got to keep on pushing with that star boy.
What did they say about Matchroom? Obviously, Buatsi's come on board, Lawrence Okoli has come on board, Natasha Jonas has come on board. Chris William-Smith has come on board.
Yeah, I got to bring up my brother Cappuccino. He's the baddest DJ on the planet. I just have to give him a big up. I got to continue. Yeah, go on.
A number of Matchroom fighters have left Matchroom and come across to Boxer. What is happening there?
What do you mean what's happening? It's quite obvious what's happening. Fighters are not happy there, so they leave. Do you know what I mean? That's all that it is. Fighters haven't been happy there. But that's not me knocking anything what Matchroom are trying to do or the zone are trying to do. I mean, but obviously things are not working because fighters are feeling very, what's the word? There's a disdain there from certain fighters, and they're thinking, well, it's time for me to move on because certain things were promised and they haven't materialized, so they've gone. But you know what? It is what it is.
Just moving away from here, Spence, looks like Fury Usyk is finally a done deal. Official announcement to come from what's being said at the moment. Looks like a press conference will be next week. Are you happy for the sake of boxing that we're finally going to see an undisputed heavyweight title fight?
Happy. Babatunde Ajayi is happy. I got wind of this a little while for the dates. I've got loads of hotel rooms that I booked through Your Golf Travel. So I've got loads. I've got about at the Hilton Hotel where most of the fighters are going to be staying. And yeah, so if you want to get your little piece in, just holler me and I'll sort it out.
And get ripped off.
I don't rip off no one, bro. What are you talking about, man? It's Ramadan, man. What are you doing, man?
Quick one as well. Obviously, Kelbrook did an interview yesterday where he talked about, he went through some dark phases. He feels like he's got his mojo back. He's looking trim. He looked slim in that video, and he said that I'm willing to come out of retirement for Conor Benn.
And that fight's going to happen. That fight's going to happen. You know what? There should be some program that's put in place for fighters who, because like it's been highlighted regularly now on this mental health, yeah. But certain people will just call mental health for mental health's sake, right? Right, and sometimes and that's not me, and that's the thing. The world that we're living in now, you can't even say like, well, someone said, oh, I've got mental health. You can't even turn to somebody now and say, nah, bro, you got to man up. You can't even say that now. Right? No, it's the truth though, because this is how the world is. Oh, you can't say man up now, you got to say, right, so this is like, but let's use it to its correct, responsive vernacular. On certain things, you gotta step forward, right? And you have to be brave. But yes, when you are going through things, you do need to call out, you do need a shoulder to cry, you do need help. There are counsellors there. Like I said, I'm going through counselling right now. You know what I mean? My dear friend Paul Flynn sorted it out for me, so I got to big him up. I always big up this guy, right? We go through things, but I'm going through that because I lost my mum. Otherwise, I'll be brave-faced and trying to be brazen and tough all the time. You can't be tough all the time.
And so Fearon, IFL TV, thank you very much.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,